So
There you go.
today this is Jack, everyone. Everyone welcome
Howdy,
Jack.
Jack.
Yeah.
And we all know Tig and myself, Sushi. Today we're gonna talk about the differences between mental hygiene and mental health and how we differentiate the two. Now I'm gonna let Tig go ahead and do our disclaimer.
All right, important things to note. None of us are trained professional psychologists, social workers, therapists, etc. We're here talking about our own experiences. This is a roundtable discussion. It's not narrative focused. It's more we're all just talking about our experiences, what we know, and coming up with better definitions together. Especially with this topic in particular, mental hygiene and mental health. It's a massive new phase. It's a massive new thing in the field. So any bit counts, and we need more voices like ours who experience this stuff on a daily basis to be the voices moving the board forward, essentially. So stay tuned. Don't hold us to anything. We're not licensed professionals. If you want someone, go see a therapist.
Yep. All right. So this was your topic, Tig. So do you want to lead the conversation?
Sure. Honestly, why not? So, mental health and mental hygiene. The way honestly the topic that the way I thought about it is that I was actually thinking, well, going back to what we were talking about earlier before we went live, is on reproductive health, reproductive hygiene, and how all those things kind of mix into each other, honestly. And it got me thinking about this trend. A lot of young men are doing as of late. They're like, especially when they go way down the manosphere incel pipeline, is that they don't the hygiene on the butt is a problem. They don't wipe after they shit. They don't. That's seen as like a taboo now. It's just something like this shouldn't be done, or like makes you not masculine or emasculate you.
Yeah.
It's gross as hell. But that kind of got me thinking. He's like, well, I remember once upon a time, if like a kid didn't want to brush their teeth or didn't want to wipe their butts, you didn't give them this lecture about whether it does. Oh, it's not masculine at all. It's not. You don't contradict their argument as to why they don't do it. You show them graphic images of what happens when they don't.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, you don't want to wipe your butt? This is what's gonna happen to it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, and then straight to the shower with that. And that kind of got me thinking. Is like, when does like hygiene come into health, and that kind of goes into mental health as well. Is how much of our daily routines, how much of self-care, how much of our maintaining our mental insanity is considered mental hygiene, and how much of it is considered a part of mental health. Like, that also defines like mental health treatments versus mental hygiene and self-care. It and that's honestly why I wanted to flesh out those examples with you guys and see, especially with Jack, as a trans guy yourself, as well as just going into the details, and maybe somewhere along the way figuring out a distinction as to broader policy, what can be service provided as mental health treatment, or what can be service provided mental hygiene, and just go from there.
For sure. Um, I like that you brought that, like anal hygiene, uh, uh, as a way to look at it. For those that don't know me, hi, my name's Jack. I'm a 36-year-old trans man, transplant in BC right now, originally from New Jersey. Am a registered nurse by trade. Uh, None of this is me speaking under my license. All of this is just me speaking as a dude who has mental health diagnoses. Um, so, I think that mental health and talking about mental health without talking about mental hygiene is like the lazy way out. In the same way that it's also easy for parents to be like, "Oh, my kid is stinky," and not teaching them the hygiene is the easy way out, right? And like, it's a problem when your kid is like 5 and doesn't wipe their butt, and then they're 6 and they still don't wipe their butt, and then they're 8 and you haven't addressed it yet, and now they're 13 and they still don't wipe their butt. Like, that's your fault as a parent. Like, you failed.
Mm.
The same can be
So,
said if
in
they're
the
8 and
same
they're throwing
turn,
tantrums. Yeah.
exactly. Or in my case, right? Like, I was 7 and told my mom that I wanted to jump into the pond across the street, and I didn't know how to swim. Wasn't addressed. I, a few years later on said something along the lines of like wanting to like walk in front of a train. That wasn't addressed, right? Suicidal ideation as a kid because I didn't understand my gender identity and there was no healthy way to discuss it. So like the mental health um diagnoses were there, but I was never taught the hygiene, right? So
Yeah.
in that same way that now we have all these like overgrown men children who both need a therapist and someone to let them know that the chapped crap plugging their butt hairs together, not letting them take an easy bowel movement, like these things are gross, right?
Yeah.
Like they're untreated mental health and their untreated like anal hygiene, like both are very gross and need to be treated. Like one with hot water and soap, and the other one with talking to a trained professional and not taking it out on the rest of the world and making it our problem that you never learned how to wipe your ass. Because as I got older and I
Exactly.
realized how much I personally stunk because I kept all that quote unquote crusted crap between my cheeks instead of working through it and processing my anguish, right? Like, I wish as a child that the adults in my life had taught me how. But now, as an adult, like, it is my job. I'm no one else's responsibility but my own
Hmm.
to kind of learn how to journal. Got my journal right here as we're on the call, right? Have it on me
Nice.
all the time. Yeah.
Nice.
And it's super helpful. Part of my mental hygiene is definitely getting like all of the thoughts that are racing it in my head out of my head and onto a sheet of paper because then they're not weighing me down.
Hmm. Yeah.
Gives me a little levity.
Absolutely. Yeah, mental hygiene, and hygiene is just hygiene. Like, you were talking about butt wiping and whatnot. For me, like when I get home from work, I work Monday through Friday, and I always need a decompression time. Like because I have a pretty lax job, but there's a lot of attitude there, and it gets me going. And when I get home from work, I just need some decompression time to where I can settle my brain, relax my body. Um, Other things you can do, like I also volunteer with the adaptive sports program here locally. And for me, it is a way to get exercise. It's a way to get outdoors. I love the outdoors, but I have problems because I have this severe arthritis. So going with the adaptive sports program, I'm learning ways that I can use in the future to keep my love of snow sports going. And it does keep my mental state for the time being pretty stable. And it's very important to keep your hygiene going to keep your mental health at bay, I think.
Yeah, it is a tricky one, honestly. And it kind of goes into like, well, you have hygiene, but it's also being able to clean your emotional and mental space, your head space regularly is a challenge, especially
Mhm.
for me. As something that I noticed a lot of I'm on the spectrum myself and will see PTSD the whole 9 yards, but something I've noticed a lot of people struggle with, including myself for a time, is instead of regularly cleaning the mental space, that are like, okay, you journal, you do something self care wise, there needs to it tends to kind of pile up. Instead of doing cleaning things like in a thorough right way, you kind of just shove everything in the closet and call it a day.
Yeah.
That's not mental hygiene. That is kind of bottling things up. And
Mhm.
over time, there's only so many things you can shove in your closet before it all comes down and you have a full psychotic mental breakdown. And of course, you have these cycles like, oh, okay, I can just shove everything in the closet and then I can have a breakdown. If I can schedule my life around that cycle, that's fine, but
Mhm.
it's not healthy.
No, not at
Shoving
all.
everything in the closet and then waiting until it collapses entirely, cleaning up the collapse in one fell swoop, and then coming back in and starting the whole process over again. That is not healthy either, and that's something I'm trying to transition a cycle of transition away from, as of recently.
Yeah.
Especially because my background actually, because even though I was taught like well mental hygiene and stuff like that, I was self taught like self care. I had I had my exports, I had my music, I had all the creative stuff, I had all the stuff, I had research, and that's what I had. But because of the amount of trauma and abuse I was suffering with both at home and at school, my parents kind of they really went in deep with it, and they saw the mental hospital or psych wards as a place you go in and then you come out and make it better like a miracle. That's
Mm.
not how this works. I was pacing just because I was trapped in my room with no car, no way out. I was in the middle of the suburbs. They moved 3 hours upstate to prevent me from going to college, and are wondering why they're scratching like why are they pacing in the why are they pacing in the room? It's like for hours and hours. Like meanwhile, I'm working out a plan, a scheme to get myself out of there. And they're like talking with a psychiatrist who should have lost his license, honestly. If he killed a few people actually from over medicating. But
That's
it's like, is there a pill you can give them that can fix this? You take this pill, it fixes it, it makes it better. I thought that's how it worked. No, you idiot, it's not. And that response is towards my father. And it's really this assumption that it goes back to like this the connotation of language between mental health and mental illness. My parents they came from Dominican Republic, they immigrated here and they assimilated hard. But not only just that, where they came from was my mom came from the sticks, and my dad was grew up on a farm and like a pretty wealthy, but still, it was a farm. He was a cowboy. The amount of times is like you were taken the head by a donkey slash horse slash cow. How many times? That explains a lot.
yeah.
But on one hand, but it also tells them what the sanitation and hygiene in a country like that is like, and you have parasitic infections constantly. You have like it's very much like Central India or like something you see on a UNICEF commercial. That's what it
Yeah,
is,
I mean,
and to this day,
I've traveled to third world countries, and their sense of hygiene is not nearly what we think of in the US.
it's really not. And so when you have cases of mental illness, like where it gets to the point where it's either chronic, cyclical, or dangerous, the word illness attached to it implies that if you don't have the resources to actually manage it in a way that's healthy and hygiene ways like we have now in the States or we have now in like the first world, their perception of mental illness is, oh, you go to a hospital, you get that taken care of and get it out. And if it's not better, you keep going to the hospital, stay in the hospital until it is. That's not how it works. But that was the mentality behind it. Especially when you have like serious diseases you have Aspergillus lumbricoides, like you have like really serious parasitic infections, you have leprosy, measles going around where it's not always taken care of. It's not a bygone thought like it is here in the States.
Right.
It's serious stuff, and it's visible and it's serious, but it's also graphic. I don't know if anyone has ever seen like images of what leprosy or late stage hemorrhagic measles look like in people. It's graphic stuff,
It
and
is
not
very
only that, but it's
graphic.
also visible and it's in front of you in the same way that someone suffering a psychotic or meltdown would be visible and in front of you. And it's startling for someone who's not even used to it or has that connotation behind it. And that
So,
kind of
Tig,
goes into
I have a question for you on that,
okay,
right?
yeah,
So,
yeah,
with
yeah.
the hemorrhagic leprosy, like all that, it's very visible. It's in your face, right? A
Mm-hmm.
lot of mental health, there are a lot of mental health illnesses, right? Like I have CPTSD, right? I'm ADHD, um, major depressive disorder, generalized anxiety, right? None of that is visible. So, do you think it's more difficult for us as folks with chronic illness, suffering these afflictions in our head that no one can see? Meanwhile, like folks can see, like, a pustule on someone's face or a bleeding ulcer, right? A broken bone. They can
Yeah.
see someone's hurt because their bone is broken. They can't really see that someone is hurt because um, they had to pronounce one of their friends dead, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
trauma.
like, right, like, and it's difficult not only to express that to like your loved ones, like why you need a little bit of grace, why
Mhm.
you're 5 minutes late all the time because it took you
Mm-hmm.
20 minutes to even get your shoes on. right?
Mhm.
And maybe they just need to, get over it and just expect you to be 5 minutes late and tough shit. Who cares? You're there and we should be happy you're
Yeah.
around. Right. And I think it's like tough sometimes too to like try and break those barriers down, especially with it's tough because when we talk about mental health and mental hygiene, things that we wish would be, or the way things like how treatments would be, we talk about it on a global scale, but I think a lot of it comes down to like breaking down the walls within our like immediate community and being like, it's not cool. You give me shit all the time for being 5 minutes late. It takes me 20 minutes to even get my shoes on because I've been through shit.
Yeah.
So if you want me there, leave me alone. I get there when I get there and then we'll enjoy our time. Right. And I've had those conversations with friends, and that's been part of my mental hygiene is like setting up those boundaries. Like,
That's
if you
good.
want me around,
Yeah.
most likely I'm gonna be late because I'm probably gonna be thinking about the time I had to do CPR on someone's great grandma and broke all their ribs and she died anyway, right? Like there's shit going on in my and
Exactly.
like I don't mean to trauma
Yeah.
dump on you all. I just want
No, no,
everyone to
no.
be
It's
aware of like these are thoughts that are like in your friends' heads that maybe you don't think about.
Right.
And like you giving
exactly.
them shit for being 5, 10 minutes late all the time isn't cool.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
trying their best to get there on
and the
time.
fact that they give you shit, and that's the paradigm within
Yeah.
it. People
Yeah.
don't see mental illness unless it's chronic or
Or you're having
outward
a
to the
manic
point where
episode,
it's not contained.
right?
Yeah, we're having a manic
Yeah, yeah,
episode,
yeah.
or
Yeah.
Then they're like, "Oh, wow, they are
wandering the
sick."
streets. Yeah, like,
Yeah,
"Oh, shit, they are sick," and that scares them, that's what it is. The
yeah,
same
But
way that that pustule on your face, it scares them, but if they can't see it,
yeah,
it doesn't register as real, and that word of, like, mental illness, the word illness implies that it's something visible you can see, and if you
yeah.
can't see it,
mhm,
then, oh, there goes the doubts, there goes the giving you shit, there goes the giving you a hard time, like,
mhm,
"You look fine, you look normal, what's the problem?"
Yeah.
That's not how this works,
And I'd like to
and
point out something about what you're just saying, Tig. Like, for instance, I have friends that have known me for 30 years and they've only seen me as like in my normal state, when I'm having fun, I'm friendly. Um, but I might disappear for a year because I'm depressed, and when I come back around, they don't really question it. They're just like, yeah, no, I was busy. I was taking care of my personal stuff, blah, 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 blah. I hid it well from them. And, you know, in my most recent diagnosis, when I think back on, yeah, I behaved badly. I was triggered. I could not control my emotions, and those people that have only seen me as being fun, loving, yada, yada, yada. And then all of a sudden I'm this manic, crazy person. They don't they just think I'm an evil person. They don't correlate the fact that I have a mental issue, and I don't have control over it, you know?
yeah,
So,
it's crazy because they see it like if they say, "Oh, it's illness," it's the common mentality behind the word illness, whether it's physiological or psychological. It's that it's either something that could be cured, something that can be fixed, or if it can't, then it's something you need to be isolated and separated from the rest of society from.
yeah,
There is that, like, old school level of quarantine. There is that old school, like, okay, if it can't be fixed and if it can't be cured, and then it's dangerous to me as well. Like, is it contagious, essentially? There
yeah,
is that old school mentality surrounding illness, and that's honestly something I'm trying to, like, redefine. Like, is it mental health? Is mental health, like, something, like, you can just go in? Is it dire to the point where it is considered, like, a mental health issue or, like, a mental health crisis? Or can it be
Can
managed through
I,
proper hygiene?
can I step in as both someone like this? I'm putting my nurse hat on. I said I was taking it off before, but I'm going to put my nurse hat on for a split
you're good.
second,
Mhm.
just to so everyone understands that like the analogy that I'm using now, it's coming from a knowledge base,
Yeah,
right? I think we need to shift away from a focus on fixing, solving, curing mental health diagnoses, right? When a person is diagnosed with diabetes, right?
you want to come up?
Their their pancreas, type 1 diabetes, right?
Yeah,
Their
Mhm.
pancreas does not produce insulin.
Right.
right? It does not produce the hormone that is needed to break down sugars in your body, so that person will die.
Mhm.
In order to keep that person alive, we invented artificial insulin, and now they can inject themselves with the medication. They do the math based on what they eat, right? They have to be in charge of their livelihood. There is something to keep them alive. There is insulin, right?
Right. They're
The same way,
responsible to
right? They're
keep.
responsible to keep themselves alive. There is something around. We can, like, we as a society, the folks in society that are trained to know how to use it and teach others how to use it can teach them how to so they can keep themselves alive. The same way that a mechanic
Mhm.
can teach you how to change a tire and then you know how to change a tire on your car,
Yeah.
right? And you can
Yeah,
be
or this
responsible for that, right? The same way that
mhm.
folks with mental health diagnoses, like let's say someone who now has PTSD because they have lived through several events in their lifetime that has led to a diagnosis of post traumatic stress disorder, right? That's not going to go away. We can't erase what they've been through. We need to shift the focus away from that. We need to shift the focus to what is their insulin, right? What is going to help them process what they've been through? And it may be
Exactly.
trial and error, right? But that's what the focus needs to be. And like us as a society, we can hold each other up and we can help our friends out because you don't need a therapist. A therapist doesn't need to be around for you to tell your friend, like, hey, I've struggled through some stuff in my life too. What really helped me was walking around with a little passport size journal, like I threw in the chat.
Mhm.
Feel free to try it, right? It's a quick little, $4 or $5 fix that you can
Mm.
try and see if it works. And if that doesn't work, maybe it's listening to music, maybe it's going for walks in nature, right? But
Maybe
like
it's
I
hitting the
think we
gym.
all need to like it's not a pill all the time. Sometimes it is. There's no shame in that because again, insulin is medicine.
Mhm.
So sometimes we need the medicine to add the dopamine in our brains that we don't get, right? Or to add the serotonin in our brains that we don't naturally produce, or the melatonin if we can't sleep, or whatever you need to do. Or for me, it's cannabis. I have chronic pain. Like
Yeah.
I microdose all day long just so I can move, or
Yeah.
else I can't walk.
Yeah.
Right? My lower back locks up.
Yeah.
So there's no shame in taking medicine to keep your symptoms at bay,
Sure.
while also continuing to live your life and not letting whatever your diagnosis is define you. Because I swear diabetics don't go around all day long being like, I'm a diabetic and that's the only thing. Like they're also painters and they're piano players and some of them play their harmonica, other than just like walking dogs, right? So
Right.
like I think we also need to like shift the focus. And when folks are talking about mental health hygiene, I think us folks that have the diagnoses also need to come on and be like, hey, yeah, for sure. I have these diagnoses and like I love writing with fountain pens and building mechanical keyboards.
Yeah.
And do you want to talk to me about the hiking trail I was on?
Yeah.
And I think that the more of us like share like a small win for me is brushing my teeth and showering
Yeah.
in the morning,
Same.
Yeah.
right? And as long as I get that
Doing
done, I'm
laundry.
happy. The rest of my day is a win.
Yeah.
Right? And, like, we
Exactly.
forgot that, like, we put so much on our plates as humans.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like, so
and
much
there's
that we wanna do
also
for capitalism, and then I still have to keep myself alive? Ew.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
let's
and
shift the
there's also
focus
this
on, like, keeping ourselves alive and then capitalism.
exactly. And there's also this expectation of how a healthy person is supposed to function in society. That a normal healthy person, oh, you get an apartment, you get a house, you get a job, this, that, and the third. But like I'm on the spectrum with severe CPSD. I'm never gonna have that. Like not that, and I don't. And you know what? That's fine with me. My long-term goal: I want to buy a warehouse, convert a section of it into a loft apartment, and the rest of it into a secret laboratory. That's
Oh,
my
yeah, that's just
retirement plan.
life.
I'm gonna have my back cave. I picked out my place already. I'm gonna have my back cave, and that works for me. And I think that's something that like I had to like fight against everyone who tried to either like one institutionalize me permanently or two. He's like, why don't you want to be this way? It will be happy. Why don't you want to be happy? It's like I don't want. I will. I don't want to be happy. I want to be human. That kinda really comes down to it. What really is, like it's a really hard, like, recalibration into what life looks like for your average person moving through the world. It's not even just about it's not solely about, like, keeping yourself alive in a dying empire. It's not just about that, but it's also we are at a point in history where we have to recalibrate maybe when you're living with a mental illness, when living with a mental health diagnosis, whether it be autism, CPTSD, PTSD, or otherwise, or bipolar disorder, you don't have to. You can still go through your life and be okay.
Right.
It's not a death sentence. You're not going to be. It's no longer like, oh, if you have this, you'll be institutionalized forever. That's what my parents tried
Yep.
to do to me. But it's not. Doesn't have to be that way.
No. And
Like
that's
mental
where mental
illness is not
hygiene
some.
comes in.
Yes, and that's where mental
Mhm.
hygiene comes in. Yeah, mental illness is not some horrific like disease like leprosy or black plague that needs to be like you need to be quarantined until we find a cure. Otherwise, everybody's gonna die or gonna kill somebody. But that's not the way it has to be. And the only reason that it is because the systems in place are not helping people that not teaching people mental hygiene. They're not teaching
Mhm.
people mental hygiene. They're not teaching people to the ways and they're not offering the assets, connections, and resources they need to get their shit together and thrive.
Yeah.
So, I'd like to chime in as someone who has gotten out of the US and, like, been, uh, living in another country for the last 2, 3 months. Um, and as someone who also spent a lot of time in their childhood living abroad.
Mhm.
There's a huge push in the US for, like, a measure of success to be, as you were saying, Tig, like, the degree, the house, the marriage, the kids, right? But none of that stuff, right? Like, those are all external.
Mhm.
None of that has to do with, like, the individual person. So it's hard as, uh, someone from the US to really, reach self-actualization and become their highest possible self, because we're not taught to chase our own joy. We're taught to keep up with the Joneses,
Mhm.
Mhm.
right?
The American
So I
dream.
think that's a really good focus for this year, maybe for all of us to not worry so much about keeping up with the Joneses. Um, I sold everything I owned, bought an RV, and hit the road. I've never
Yeah.
been happier. I never want to own a house. I think it's dumb. It's an expense that doesn't need
Yeah.
to
I've
happen.
owned 3,
And a lot of
Yeah.
people are kind of
and
like, well, like
you're right.
if this is it, like even people who want that dream, it falls apart. It's because like
Right.
you're
So, like, why
tired,
not stay
like, and that's
nomadic? And when I get bored of this scene, I, like, go to another. And,
yeah,
like,
and this is not
I'm
new. That's the
comfortable. I have a
thing.
kitchen. I have a bathroom. Like, everything. Like, I have a
Yeah,
whole
it's
That's
house
not,
in the
healthy.
yeah. And the
US.
crazy thing is,
You know?
it's not even like a new novel thing.
Yeah.
It's a return to how
Yeah.
humans used to be at like the dawn of civilization. I mean, we've always had nomads. We've always had traveling poets. We've always had vagabonds. We've always had wizards in the towers.
We
I
have
want to have
sea
my
gun.
wizard tower.
We have sea gunners in Portugal. My grandparents joke with me and call me a sea gunner right now, and I'm like, hell yeah, I'm a gypsy. Like, I'm having a
Yeah,
grand old time right now. And, like, I
yeah.
talk to all the First Nation folk here in Canada, and we're just connecting on a level that humans connect on. That it doesn't matter your outward expression. It doesn't matter what you look like on your outward expression. It's a very deep um, human magnetism when you're talking to someone that understands that the purpose of being alive is to chase joy.
Mhm.
You
Absolutely.
may have crap
Yeah.
happen to you. I have tons of trauma behind me, but my shift in focus since left the US, I'm trying to help from afar as long as I can. But honestly, after getting assaulted for the second time on the job as a nurse, in New
You're
Jersey,
done. Yeah.
like, I was
Yeah, that's
done,
brutal,
right?
man.
Like, how many like, they said, "Turn your cheek once," they didn't say, "Keep turning it," right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
So,
and what
no
happens
one should
when?
have to live that way. I mean,
yeah,
we're
and,
all
like,
human.
to be
We're
looking at,
all
like,
people.
I almost got abducted, like, there's no, like,
Mhm.
there's
No, no, no.
like, the US is not a good time right now. The people talk
Yes.
to me, and they're like, "Oh, that sounds like it's propaganda." I'd be like, "Ha ha! You wanna see my police
It
report?"
really isn't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But this is what happens when you
Um,
have an empire in decline, and I think this is like,
yeah.
I mean, like I mean, I'm scared shitless, honestly, but that's nothing new for me because I have this reality that we're living in now has been my reality that I've always lived in. I mean,
And I
I have
think
been
that's a reality
abused by
for
the
a lot
mental
of
health
trans
system. I've been
folks in the
abused.
US.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I've been abused by the mental health system. I've been abused by my parents. I fought tooth and nail to be able to go to college. And even then, that was a fight that I've had to go undercover and usurp in my own way, like the college administrators that were driving kids to suicide. It was bad. It's been bad. but I keep
It gets
fighting.
exhausting
And
having to prove your humanity. I get it, Tig. I'm sorry. I
yeah,
feel for you.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
and so I stopped trying to prove it because
Yeah.
if I'm the only
There's
one
no
trying to
sense.
prove that
Just
I'm
be alive.
human, yeah,
Yeah.
in a world that no one like, it's kind of crazy because I was watching like the finale of Malcolm in the I was rewatching the finale of Malcolm in the Middle some time ago. Great show, great show. And Lois's ending soliloquy when he like when the Harvard janitor episode, it's something that struck a chord with me because I'm one of those rare autistics that people on the autism spectrum with a crazy high IQ, the 180 types, like the Isaac Newton types, all that jazz. The kind of people you would find in a wizard's hour. And it's crazy because Malcolm kind of embodies that character, but in that whole arrogant frustration. But unlike me, he had parents that like not only supported him, but also gave him a bit of a reality check. And it's like, listen, you haven't suffered enough. It's not enough, and it's not going to be enough. So you're going to bust your ass and achieve 10 times more than every person in your generation. And in the end of the day, it won't matter because they will still look down on you.
Mhm.
And you want so badly for them to like you and treat you like a human being and respect you, but they just won't. And it's not because you didn't do anything wrong. It's not because you deserve it. It's not because they lack the capacity to do so. It's because they choose not to. It's easier that
Mhm.
way. And somewhere along the way, and it's gonna break your heart. And but with the right support, the right people, the right friends, and the right kick-ass therapist that I have, that'll make it won't shatter your heart. It'll expand it, make it a little less, make it more flexible, make it bigger, and somewhere along the way, you realize that more to life than proving you're the smartest person in the world.
Yeah.
And
And
that's really what it
and
comes
doing that
down to.
too. You're right, Tig. And letting go of that, like letting go of those hot coals, right? Of wanting to convince people you're told that like need to be in your life, like let's say mom and dad, right?
Mhm.
As a kid, you're told they need to be in your life forever. They don't need to be in your life forever.
No.
I want no contact with my dad. I have no idea what the fuck he's up to, right?
Right.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
letting go of all that opened up so much room for me to be able to attract chosen family
Mhm.
and like people that actually make me feel good all the time for exactly who I am.
Mhm.
And I don't need to change myself in order for them to love me.
Yep. That's
And
great.
I think that's like I think that's what more of us need to do. Is just maybe like let go of blood, right? That whole like blood is thicker than water is not true.
Yeah. It's a
Viscosity is the same.
bastardization of the original quote anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, the blood of the
But
covenant is thicker than the water
yeah,
of the womb, essentially. That was the original quote.
yeah. Which absolutely not, right? Because that's just the this world has gotten a bit wild, I think, and we've all been caring a little bit too much of what each other thinks, and not enough about what we think about ourselves, the world around us, how we choose to
Yeah.
move in society and interact with one another.
Yeah.
Like that's
We've
all up
been
to us. Like we don't have to be all upset about like what should be or like what is right now. Like what the hell are we doing? Are we
Yeah.
contributing to positivity or are we the problem?
Right.
yeah, and it often requires that self-awareness, it requires that reflection. And
Yeah.
it's something that like there's a question that the $1,000,000 question. Do you want to be right or do you want to make things better?
Right.
Do you want that approval or do you want to make things better? Do you want to be recognized or do you want to make progress?
Yeah.
And the moment I left, I chose I want progress, I want my independence, I want my humanity. Walked out the door, I walked out that garage door, fought off my dad, fist and everything, got to my car, stole it, and left.
Yeah.
Never went
One
back.
Yeah.
thing one thing that reminds me of, when I was going through my post-divorce pre-diagnosis and triggers and blowing up and yada, 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 I had met someone that lives in Australia, and we would connect via Messenger, and we had great conversation. And, the person I was living with, um, claimed that I was just seeking validation, and I'm like, "No, that has nothing to do with it." Like, you know what I mean? Just because you don't understand what I'm going through does not mean that I'm just reaching across the table to someone else to seek validation. It's someone that I can talk to that, explain what I've been going through, and they were going through the same thing, and we had an understanding with each other. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's
I don't think we need to seek validation at all. I
Hmm.
am what I am, we are who we are. And,
Yeah, and even so, it's okay to want to desire to be have that desire to be recognized, desire to have that validation. It's just like accusation, oh, you want pity, or you want sympathy, or you want
mhm,
validation, or you want attention. It's like, even
You want
so,
community.
even
yeah,
even if that's true, what is
Yeah.
wrong with any of that?
right.
Right.
It's an
Nothing
accusation
is
that
wrong with that. Yeah.
wanting to be recognized as something to be ashamed of, but it really isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is like a lot of folks are born into community and they don't know what is the struggle to find your community because you're not born
Yeah,
into it, right?
yeah, even the
No one is
communities that they're
born
born
into
into.
no one is born into a trans welcoming community, right? They're usually
Right.
born into heterosexual parents, right?
Mhm.
Usually all of us are born into, for the most part, right? Or some kind of like hetero bullshit happens to whomever birthed us.
Yeah.
I'm speaking with painting with a broad brush, right?
Sure.
But for the most part, people
Yeah.
that are afraid like their kids are being exposed to like trans issues or like in a heteronormative relationship, letting their kids watch Disney. So what are you afraid of? Nevertheless, right, off my soapbox on
Yeah.
that one. I I think like when we say like, "Hey, this is me. Like these are things about me. Like I'm smart. I fit these bills." Like, does anyone see me?
Yeah.
It's like you're looking for the recognition for someone to be like, "Yeah, I see you, and I like what the hell you're about, and let me tell you about me, and let's
Right.
like vibe with that." It's not always right, Tick. Like it's not always like I'm the best and you're the worst. It's like a hey, this
Yeah.
is me. Does anyone
It's
vibe
not a
with my shit?
competition, you know?
Exactly. And so many
Exactly.
people are like, our generation didn't give a fuck about participation trophies. Those were our
Yeah.
parents that wanted the coaches to give them
Yeah.
to us. We
Yep.
just wanted to play the fucking game and have
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Or not, and just go play video
We're
games or
not
something.
exactly like leave us alone. We just want to be fucking kids. I
Yep.
think I
Just
think
let
for the
us
most
be
part,
kids.
I can speak for myself. I still want to be a kid.
Oh,
And like I'm trying to
that's
You
make friends in the sandbox.
yeah, I'm gonna
make
be
friends in the
55 in
sandbox.
like on the 21st. What's today? The 4th, so like 17 days I'm gonna be 55. And I love going out and throwing snowballs. Well, we don't have any snow right now, but you know what I mean? Or just
Yeah.
going and being
Yeah.
young at heart, you know?
Yeah, honestly, I used to work in an aquarium once upon a time as a tour guide, and, it was a fun job, but the amount of craziness I saw from that job, oh my god, the education system in this country has failed so many people. In hindsight,
Mhm.
it was, something I really enjoyed, and I would just go in and just talk to people, like, just grab people's attention about the animals on the display, and I was not only good at that, but
Yes, yes, yes.
I was able to use that as a massive way, but also, like, talking with kids and talking with adults, and you start to you start to bridge those jokes together and being able to, like, translate this one okay, this is a side story, I'll tell you another time, but ultimately, it's like, it's okay to feel giddy and jump for joy at aquariums and museums. Like, my friend will actually take me for my birthday, Museum of Natural History in Manhattan. It's like, yes, I was like, okay. But it's also like growing up and still finding things that bring you joy is like going to museum for me. That paradigm, that progress is like going to the museum and looking back and seeing my friend out of breath. I was like, hey, do you need a break? I put my headphones on and you can just sit for 5 minutes and I'll just shut up about facts for a minute. It's like, that would be nice. And we'll just go on that instead of going full throttle and getting upset as to why are you upset with why are you mad at me? It's being able to look back and recognizing that it's okay to have that energy and it's wonderful that you have that joy and that passion, but also looking back and seeing that there's different kinds of people. There are explosive, radiant, infrared people like myself that are a lot all at once. And
Mhm.
there's some people who interpret a lot of that really quickly and it burns them out. And being
Yeah,
able to have that mutual aid and being able to look back and see that even among even among humans, there are different kinds of humans. It's a whole level of complexity.
sure.
You'd expect something as complex as the human brain, as something evolutionarily advantageous to the human brain to come in a wide variety of flavors.
Well, we're all
A wide variety.
snowflakes. There are no two of us alike. Like even identical twins, they're not even that. They might look alike, but we're all individual, you know?
Yeah, I mean, even with snowflakes, we're all incredibly individual, we're all incredibly unique. But even snowflakes start somewhere, and that somewhere is pretty much the same until they hit particulates and more diverse and
Mhm.
you grow into these unique individual snowflakes.
Absolutely.
Depends on what they come in contact with, and depends on what's in their environment.
Yep. Yeah. Jackie, still there?
I'm here. I'm here. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're good. No, you're frozen on my screen, so I didn't know if
Oh, yeah, no,
we had
that
lost you.
might have just been, like, my actual just, like, face zoning out while I was trying to remember,
Yeah, I see little
blanket.
switches there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, yeah, I I think I zoned out for a while because I was talking to Neuro and I wanted to know what they were coloring because I saw that they were doing that. And then I was gonna let them know that I was working on a cross stitch, but then I decided to let them know about my blanket that
Oh,
I'm
nice.
making.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blankets.
Uh, but yeah, speaking of mental hygiene, this is something I do. I turn my brain off
Oh, hell
and I
yeah.
just knit for a little bit.
Yeah. That's awesome. I
Oh, I
used to
love
do a
Yeah,
that.
lot of
yeah.
that kind of stuff and create.
Mhm.
But I've talked about this before where uh, my mental illness got way in my way of creativity. Um, before I was medicated and whatnot. But I used to be an art student in college, a photographer, whatever. Now I'm slowly getting back into myself, and just trying to be creative. It's good
There's
stuff.
a there's a pottery studio at this little
Oh, I
town
love
that we
pottery.
just stopped in,
I love
and I
pottery.
haven't thrown on a wheel in a long time.
Mhm.
I
And like
know.
I've made some really nice pieces back when I was
Awesome.
in college. I
Yeah.
think I might go talk to the guy and see how much like a little studio time would be
Yeah.
to like maybe make a little mug or something.
Yeah, I
Oh
have
my god.
I have a friend here locally. She's older, but she and her husband are potters, and they have a professional
Me too.
studio at their house. And she's like, "You got to come throw clay. You got to come throw clay." And I just,
You
life
got to
gets in
do
the
it.
way. And
Go do it.
Okay.
Especially, is the arthritis in your hands too?
yes, it's in my
It's
hands and my
real.
feet, but I think
It's
yeah,
really easy on the hands
that's what she
because I
was
have
Yeah, it
really
saying.
is.
bad. I'm with
It's
nursing
all
too,
heel.
right? It's
It's
all
all
like
heel.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like this knuckle of my I don't know if you could see like my finger is just like it
yeah,
doesn't go none of them
yeah,
really go straight anymore unless I really
yeah.
try. But it's so easy on your hands
Oh yeah.
and you can just you can create and destroy
Hmm.
and then
Mhm.
create again, which I think is so important, especially for folks who have who are looking for some mental hygiene tools, right?
Hmm.
To be able to
Hmm.
create something beautiful, destroy it, and know it's not the end of the world because you're just creating something beautiful again.
Hmm.
That's so healing, especially if you're just fucking mad at someone and you want to go and
Right.
you're like, I'm gonna make something really nice. And like maybe you really love this person, but they're getting on your skin, right? You're making
Mhm.
something really nice, and I'm gonna smash it, but then I'm gonna make it again, right?
Yeah.
Which is better than like
Yeah.
raging out at your loved ones.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah,
So much
for
better.
sure.
I'll just sculpt my loved one in the
yeah,
face.
yeah, 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 and then
A nice
smash it, but then like,
I mean,
die.
throwing
which is
dishes at the
okay.
wall
It's
just to
okay for
get
you.
your aggression out is gets expensive, so
Exactly.
Yeah, it gets crazy expensive.
Yeah, yeah, like
But
Play-Doh,
finding ways.
less expensive.
Yeah.
Maybe some kinetic sand, a
Yeah, honestly,
pillow
my
you
thing is
can put on.
calisthenics. My thing is
Yeah,
calisthenics. Like I will go. I have like a little mini pull. Not even a mini. It's like a little power tower pull up bar right here,
Oh, yeah.
and I will just like if I'll get out of bed and just go hang out in that for like a solid like 45 minutes intervals, or just do pull ups. If I'm pissed, I will do just be on my full floor yoga mat that I have in my apartment and just go like side push ups. So like, I will just like go at it like physically until it's all just drained out of my body. Because if it's not physical and me, it's going to be physical towards someone else, and I don't want that.
Yeah.
And
and that's
it's also yeah, it's also
it's healthy
really a
to do
matter
that.
of
Yeah,
yeah, it's not yeah, and plus the calisthenics is really good for, like, muscle control as well, so, like, with my PTSD, it's fight mode. That's my react to everything, and so, like, being able to have that internal control and being able to feel that control with my muscles as I'm moving, it's a big deal for me, and there's, like, tiers with, hygiene as well, like, being able to, like, find little quirks with it, like, depending on what your needs are. Like, for me, like, for instance, like, I have an auto brush, right? Because I hate, like, just brushing my teeth. I hate doing that. I need to be able to do a million things
Yeah,
at
I have
once in the
like a
bathroom to be
Sonic
efficient with it.
Care, whatever those are that you push the button.
Yeah,
Does it work for
yeah, and
you?
not no, it doesn't. No, I need like a mouth guard with a UV light,
Oh,
and I'll just vibrate on it. I can just I just put my auto brush in my mouth and just do pull ups. That's what I do, and it works for me. And it's honestly it's pretty comprehensive, but it works. And I think there's something like another thing for me, like I like gadgets. I love
Mhm.
gadgets. I'm Batman in that regard. And it's like gadgets are tools used to solve specific problems.
Right. I have
Mm.
a 3D printer and I love making like fidget
I know. I'm
spinners and like
saving for my
different
3D
things.
printer.
Yeah.
I'm saving for mine. I'm looking forward to building my Iron Man suit.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're pretty fun to
Sushi,
have. Yeah.
I need an inkwell.
Inkwell.
Ooh. I
I need
actually
Like,
an
what
inkwell.
like what
Yeah.
kind of ink are we doing? Like what kind of calligraphy are we thinking? Are we thinking like Korean, Japanese? Because I have a couple of guys with suppliers on that front. So are we thinking
No,
like
I just
European? Are we thinking Korean?
I write with fountain pens all the time. I just need a
Fountain
little
pens.
inkwell to
Oh, little inkwell.
keep some ink in so I can fill my pens and
Oh
keep
yeah.
raging out. That's
yeah.
what I got tired of buying pens. I got sucked into fountain pens, and it's just the way to go. Especially like if you really like to write, get yourself a Twisby
Yeah.
Eco,
Mm-hmm.
fill that thing with a bunch of ink, and you can go for days. You
Yes.
could almost look like you're having a religious breakthrough.
Yeah.
Almost.
Like Mick Jagger in the middle of the night. It's like, I've got it. Only wake up the next morning and it's like, oh, it's just
Mhm.
you try to make a glove for your feet, but that just sucks. that just
Yeah, no,
sucks.
it'd
It
be like,
does.
oh, why did I wake up in the middle of the night and I wrote, did you know that hippos are closer to what?
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
my god. I don't even have that question anymore, but that's just me. It's like, ah. Oh my god. But it's a good one, but also it goes into like not just self-care, but it also goes into like daily routines to keep yourself sane. You know, if you have your brush your teeth twice a day, if you have your take a shower, if you have your different kinds of showers, depending on the day, like if you're out in the snow a lot, you go in and take like a nice spa shower with the Epsom salts and stuff. That's nice stuff.
Mhm.
But we should also have like different calories and different tiers for mental hygiene as well. Like
Yeah.
if it's a really terrible, like if I have a really severe meltdown or like a severe trigger that I've had to ricochet from, and my thing is like, all right, I'm gonna put on a comfy hoodie because this was something I had to do with yesterday. I'm gonna put on my favorite comfy hoodie, my tiger hoodie. This is gonna be on the battlefield with me.
Mm.
I love this thing, and I'm gonna order some Chinese. Or talk to a friend. My friend could come over, or I'll just play some video games and just relax, just decompress.
Yep.
But also zone out. But I also have to isolate myself from everyone else that
Yeah.
isn't already keen as to what it is. So essentially, like if you're gonna be going into a werewolf, you gotta chain yourself in the basement, essentially.
Yeah.
It's part of the routine,
Yeah.
and that's okay. It's
Yeah. Well,
okay
absolutely.
to have that routine. You do what you gotta do to keep yourself safe as well as keep other people safe.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, we were talking earlier, like I had this ritual. I come home from work. I didn't want to talk to anyone for like an hour. I just needed to decompress. And then once I relaxed and everything, it was pretty kosher and I could, go about my after work evening, But yeah. Gosh, I've loved this conversation today. It's been really nice. Um, any other
Uh,
input before we close out for the night? Do you have
I'm
anything
just
else?
gonna grab one thing if you don't mind, Sushi.
Sure. Go ahead, Jack.
I saw that the Nero was putting in the chat that they suffered from some chronic pain and was having a hard
Yeah.
time moving, but
Yeah.
they also don't like cannabis and feeling high.
Mhm.
Um, I picked up this wildflower. It's a roll-on. I don't know if your local dispensary has it, but if anyone wants to do a little screen grab, if they're
Nice.
looking for something to
Ooh.
help with chronic pain,
Yeah, I've
um,
used the
it
lotions
looks,
too, and
yeah,
they work
it's
great.
like a little roll-on, just like that. You roll it on
Mhm.
whatever hurts. I use it
Oh, it's
for my
kind of like an
back.
icy cat stick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but the
um,
THC in it, yeah, it
it
works
really
great.
helps.
Yeah.
And it doesn't give you a head high or anything like that. It just really helps relieve the pain and you
Yeah.
don't feel it at all. So this is stuff I use like if I'm working
Yeah.
because I can't be high in work, right? That's insane. You don't want your
Mhm.
nurse high on pot.
Yeah.
But you also don't want your nurse in so much pain they can't think straight. So
Right,
this works
right.
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
have that happy medium for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Balance is the key, and balance is hard to maintain,
Yeah.
Yeah.
at least by yourself.
Yeah.
why we gotta build community. We're all here for
Yep.
each other.
Yeah.
It's all cool.
Yes,
It's easy, a
absolutely.
lot easier to balance when you're balancing with other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Anyone in the chat have? I'm kind of catching up there. Is there anything y'all want us to talk about? Oh, what's the name of it? Can you show the
It
name
was
of?
Wildflower. Let me grab it again. I want to make sure I give y'all the correct name.
Same issues. I do like the little. I do edibles at night. I don't typically get high during the day, but once in a while I will. But
So, so it's the Wildflower. I have the extra strength one, uh,
yes,
just because I
yeah,
really get into a lot of pain. Uh, yeah, and yep, just intended for use on skin. It's just a quick little roll on. Most dispensaries have them now. Some of them have them with like not with the THC and CBD, either like
mhm,
one or the other, but I'm sure it
yeah,
works the same.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, also like for I have my like, I don't have chronic pain per se, but when things hurt, I especially there's you guys gotta find what works for you. We gotta find something that helps things ease along. Like I can't take anything pain. I can barely take any meds for period anything any meds at all actually because I was
yeah,
abused so badly with so many in the
yeah,
past. But now that I'm like, okay, if I'm going to be recovering from my trauma the old-fashioned way, I'm going to be
yeah.
recovering from my trauma the old-fashioned way. And so
Sure, and
if that's what you need, it's not for the faint of heart, but you
it
do what you
takes
got to
someone
do.
really strong to do that. Like with my erosive osteoarthritis, in fact, Tuesday, I go see my pain management doctor to schedule an injection in my cervical neck or cervical spine.
Hmm.
I haven't been getting much sleep lately because that nerve that arthritis in my neck
Hmm.
causes shoots down my arm and into my hand. And it's just like,
Does it go
anyway,
pinky side for you?
it's the
Or
thumb,
thumb side?
pointer, middle. Yeah. See,
Oh, it's that whole group of like ligaments right
yeah, it's
there.
these three. Yeah. Yeah, it's no fun, and it sucks that, I do wear a patch that helps keep the takes the edge off of the pain, and then I have tramadol to take if my pain's a little bit more due to, like, overdoing it or weather or anything like that,
Weather's
but
a big
there's
one. How have you been with the weather lately?
oh, it hasn't been treating me very well.
I know it's been
Nope.
way too wet in the air.
Yeah, yeah, we're
You,
really
yeah.
a lot of rain, and especially affects me when the barometric pressure, like, bounces up and down, and it doesn't stay consistent,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I know, and I like, oh god, the mosquitoes are acting up. I'm gonna go inside. It's an omen. Like if the bugs know something that I don't, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. But also, like I honestly, my thing is stretching. My godsend is calisthenics. Like I will stretch. I will not just do the strength lift, but also like moving in ways that only an anime protagonist could possibly do.
Sure.
That is the best thing I could have done for myself, honestly. Turn
Yeah,
myself
I'd
into
like to
Goku.
pick up some Tai Chi because, you can do like 20 minutes a day with some Tai Chi, slow movements and
Oh
work
Why
yeah.
are
yoga.
you the YouTube ads am I the only one getting these
No,
Tai Chi
you're not the
YouTube
only one.
ads?
I see them all the
You
time.
sounded like one just now. I was like, "Oh
I
my god,
know.
I'm on YouTube again." It's like, "My husband's been
Yeah.
doing Tai Chi for 20 minutes
And
a
his
day."
bod is
Dude,
The
so
fucking
if
AI,
you don't
those
pay attention, get the fuck
AI
out of
ads.
here with your Tai Chi.
yeah. No,
Ugh.
my mom has rheumatoid and she was doing Tai Chi years ago before it became like hip to do, I guess. But
But honestly, it looks like
Yeah, I
something
mean,
my old 36-year-old ass should be doing right now,
yeah.
so that so that I
I mean,
make
it's
it to
never.
55 as good as you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, right
Yeah,
now I'm
Yeah, you
hobbling
never
yeah.
around,
Start
know.
with
but
Tai Chi right now.
yeah,
Like the reason, like you get
yeah,
like
yeah.
you have like 20 somethings. Like I'm 25. My
First,
friend
I
was
need an
down for the
AI
count with a
husband, though.
herniated disc. Yeah,
Mhm.
husband. Well, my friend went down for the count with a herniated disc. He's like, "Well, do you like stretch at all? Do you drink enough water?" Is like, you drink water. If you move, like even like throughout the day and stuff. If you find reasons to move in ways that your
Mm.
body allows you to move, it's like when did like we crimp like when you have the kids, like you either encourage a kid or you tell the kid sit the hell down. You don't move. But the kid wants to play on the monkey bars, and kids don't have back problems. The
Yeah.
moment we stop playing on the monkey bars, oh shit, my back just hurts out of nowhere. Am I
No,
40?
you're right, Tig. You're right, and that's on capitalism.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And we all gotta let the little ones run around and play on the monkey bars now. We gotta raise a better generation. Because
Yep.
some of these shithole, like, teenage kids that have been raised by their MAGA parents right now, like,
Oh
ew.
Mm-hmm.
gosh.
Someone needs to bully those kids. I'm not for
Oh my
bullying,
god.
but I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
if you're a MAGA
Yeah.
teen, you need to be bullied.
Yep.
Like, I'm okay with bullying for that.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
But
There's
honestly,
Constructive
like,
bullying. Constructive
yeah, I
bullying.
mean, even like a long term decision is like we need like this is kind of a counterintuitive proposal, but I'm gonna sound crazy for this. I propose, like, you know that like all like that whites only settlement out in Arkansas.
uh,
There is a loophole in the reservation clause that was done in the 1800s with the Native Americans, like that justified the whole Trail of Tears. The reason they
Mhm.
were able to get away with it is that they didn't define like native tribes on on the ethnic level in the legislation to get away with like doing the whole Trail of Tears and the reservation bullshit. That's
yeah.
not that law is still on the books. Keep in mind. So
Mhm.
if that legislation is vague enough to even allow that to happen in the first place, and what is stopping? Like, all right, you want your whites only settlements? You can have it.
Right.
You can have your whites only settlement. You'll revoke your citizenship. End of. And then everywhere else they would be moving away. We could just start rebuilding back. Give them 6 months to go. Yep, you can go
That's
ahead,
why,
get your shit together. That's it. You can
you know,
have your reservation.
I've thought that since I was a kid. I'd be like, why do we keep fighting a good time? Like,
Yeah,
if they
yeah,
really
and
want to segregate that bad and they want whites only on one side and like the rest of us can like have culture and spices on the other,
Sure.
yeah.
cool.
Not even just one side. Don't even let them have a side. Just like set up a little reservation in the middle
No,
of the
that's what
country.
by side I mean
Yeah,
the other side of their concentration camp they want to build for themselves, so that their whites only
yeah.
concentration
If
camp.
they want,
The summer camp,
yeah.
I
I
mean.
mean,
I mean,
reservation
yeah,
is a
yeah, yeah,
reservation.
yeah, yeah.
But even so, like honestly, maybe this is me like spitballing off this idea. It's like, well, I want these kids. Like the only reason these kids and these shit based teenagers are like this because of their parents. But if CPS can only do so much, so if we let them have the reservation,
Oh, don't
then
get me started on
maybe
CPS.
yeah. But hear me out for a second. If we have them have their reservation, we'll give them 6 months to get everything they need together, and we'll give them. Oh, you need library books, right? We'll give you library books. And I thought of this one ticket. I don't know if anyone has seen The Promised Neverland or read The Promised Neverland manga. The anime is trash, but the manga is incredible. Um, this is the idea. So if you have these library books and you arrange the library books in a certain order, like a certain volume of books, that if you read them a certain way, it reveals a Norse code. In the Promised Neverland, it allows these kids to escape this orphanage, which is really like a human slaughterhouse operation for kids. It's brutal for demons, but by deciphering this code, they're able to escape and find a safe house outside of this compound, outside of this little camp that they have for kids. The demons have for the kids, and they're able to figure out not only where their situation is, not only what the world looks like outside, but also to get themselves out of it. And I figured, like, wait, that's actually a pretty genius idea. What if we let them have their all white reservation, but put that Morse code in the library or some other kind of way, in a way that only kids can be able to figure out?
Yeah.
Give them a path outward and say, "Oh no, they escaped on their own. We'll be able to take them, and you have no jurisdiction here." Tough shit.
We just got to make sure they still learn how to read.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to like be like
Read and
Bible heavy, like yeah,
read and write and have their own
Oh no,
think for
those folks all
themselves.
have, yeah. Those
mm-hmm,
folks all have like a fifth grade. This is not a dig. This is
Yeah.
not a dig.
mm-hmm,
These are just like these are just statistics. The
yeah,
folks that want all this have a fifth grade reading level, and the Bible is written at a grade 8 and 9, so they don't understand
yeah,
what the hell they're reading anyway.
Yeah.
yeah. But if I learned anything
So
from U.S. history, is that
I
if the
think we need
Underground
to dress up
Railroad can
like
be figured out,
priests.
yeah,
I think we need to make a mega church, and then that's how this will be the gay agenda. You
Yeah.
don't need to be gay to join. But
I live in the land of mega churches, by the way.
Oh
they're
God, Utah.
wild, aren't they? Yeah, those mega
Utah.
churches are crazy and they don't pay taxes. We should start our own.
Yeah.
This could be our
Yeah.
auxiliary to the church. We won't have
Yeah.
to pay taxes, any of us. Substack as a whole
Yeah.
will just be our auxiliary to the church.
Oh my God. But
Have you
it
been in a
honestly,
mega
like,
church?
once.
Have you been
Once.
in a mega church?
No, I mean, I've been to
No, I've
several
never been
different.
inside one.
Yeah, I've been to several services, even LDS. My growing up in Ohio, we have actually the original LDS temple was built in Kirkland,
Yeah.
Ohio, and my sister married into the religion. Strangely enough, I mean, she's
Oh
no
God.
longer she's no longer with them, but and it was just kind of ironic that I was the one that moved to Utah when she was the LDS person.
For
But I moved
real.
here
Like,
for
you
like
moved to the Mecca.
recreation. Yeah.
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 Uh Anyway, yeah, growing up, I grew up in a melting pot, so I've been to all kinds of different services. My parents were agnostic, so they didn't force us into anything. They're like, if you
Mhm.
want to go to Catholic service, go to Catholic service. If you want to go there, go there. Check it out.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
very fortunate in that realm. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
atheist now. Like, there's no agnostic part of me. I do believe that we're all stardust and the universe has
Mhm.
its ways. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, I prefer, I call myself a spiritual agnostic, because crazy enough, like, I have a weird relationship with religion. I wasn't raised with it at all. Like, I grew up, like, heavily assimilated, kinda like hodgepodge, but I was never really my growing up memories and contact with religion, because 'cause I'm Dominican, like, Dominican ancestry. Well, not really ancestry, but, like, first generation Dominican, immigrant American. But regardless, my relationship with it is like, "Oh, we go to mass when someone dies for a funeral." That was it. But now it's like, since I've been out and since I've actually, like, since I emancipated myself 7 years ago and since I've actually made a lot of friends, it's like, like, I mean, when you're in the thick of it, it's you can walk into a church and look at the idols like, "Yay, man, we're not friends, but this is something it's someone to talk to," and it honestly did make me
Yeah.
feel better. And I'm not subscribing to anything, I'm not aligned with anything, but it does there is, like, a psychosocial emotional level that comes with a belief in, like, something a higher power than your own.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes funny because, like, the amount of times I've almost died and should have died, it's like, I looked up, it's like, "Oh, you think you're funny. You think you're funny."
I do have a real quick story in regards to the LDS temples because they look like castles. They're ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. I moved here in 1995, so I've been here about 30 years. And a couple years after I had moved here, my mom got a hold of me and she's like, "Hey, your sister," and she's a couple years younger than me, only sibling, has met this guy online. And so this is like 28 years ago. And she's driving out that way in Arizona. And I was wondering if you can like get a hold of her and make sure she's okay and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, the only place I can think for us to meet up would be St. George, which is right by the Arizona border.
Mhm.
So I got in contact with her and a good friend of mine who is narcoleptic. I had to drive because he falls asleep just out of nowhere, right?
Mhm.
But back then, he the super tall guy, really long hair. We were all deadheads. I had dreadlocks, and before they were cool,
Mhm.
and I was wearing a tank top, and I had tattoos exposed, whatever. And we got to St. George way before that they were going to arrive there. We thought we'll meet up at the temple because, I mean, that's a landmark, right?
Mhm.
So my buddy Brad takes his little narcoleptic nap and he wakes up and he's like, "Hey, we've got some time. Let's go take a tour of the temple." And I'm like, "Oh, they're not going to let us in there." And he's like, "Oh, they have to." I'm like, "Okay." So, but I mean, there are the sacred parts, but there are little places that they will take you in, and you walk through these halls and they play this music and these things light up. God is with us. kind of thing. But yeah, so we walk in, it's two hippies, um, and the gal there was like, "Well, why do you want to take a tour of the church?" I'm like, "Well, because my sister just married into the religion, and I'm kind of curious as to what it's all about." We just made up some spiel, you know. Anyway, I
He's
just
like,
thought that was
ooh,
pretty funny, and
spies.
they're very welcoming. I mean, they take really good care of the people that are in the church. I mean,
That's how they get you.
So,
yeah,
real quick, just
yeah.
gonna butt in. I really just confused LDS and Scientology in my brain. I was about to be like, "Did you ask him about Xenu?" And I was like, "Wait, no, that's the other cult.
That's the other cult.
Yeah,
That's the other one."
They're both polygamous bullshit, but it's like, yeah, that's the other one.
yeah,
Because I just watched something on Scientology recently, and I was like, "Oh, Xenu, our alien overlord for
yeah,
sure."
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some
Like, do
weird
they
stuff.
actually believe this?
How was the church on the inside, or the temple? I guess
Very,
that's what they call
very
it.
ornate. I
I'm
mean,
sure.
yeah, it's crazy how fancy they are. And then they have like the little ward houses just, outside of every neighborhood. You can walk 3 blocks and walk by about 5 LDS churches that aren't all those big temple kind of things, but
And like
yeah,
all the surrounding houses for the most part is like folks that are part of the community too, from what I understand too. Like
yeah,
it's like the church
Yeah,
gives the families within the church,
yeah,
um,
they also offer like
like the
everything. It's
community
like a
within the
center
home or
point.
something like they buy up like all of that property and all
yeah,
that, and
they
then the
do.
church
Yeah,
They
the
do.
church like gives it out based on like if you've been a good little boy or not, type of
Yeah,
thing.
they do.
Right?
and they also offer childcare. They
Oh,
offer
they
carpool
take
lines. They
care of
offer everything,
Mhm.
and that's what
It
makes it
kind of
so.
like
That's what makes it so
it
dangerous to
feels
get
like
out of.
Yeah, because it is very culty. They like financially blackmail you, right? They like
Yeah,
spiritually blackmail you,
yeah.
emotionally blackmail
Yeah,
you,
even if you move halfway
just to
across the
like
country, like
keep you
I've had to.
there.
Yeah, I had to fight with like my friend who like just
Yeah.
got out of a apartment, got away from that a few months ago, and like I had to fight a few of the of her former associates who were missionaries, like who's like, dude, go away. Like
Yeah.
I used
They
to
used
they're
to they
relentless.
used to show up at my house all the time when I was a kid until I answered the door and I was like, "I'm a gay."
yeah,
And then they
go
never came back
away.
ever again.
Yeah, I at
And
my
like I
in
said it
my
a gay just to
yeah, in my
recruit
old
so they
house,
would understand me.
I used to sit on my front porch stoop all the time, and
Yeah.
I'd have a glass of wine and a cigarette in my hand and watch the missionaries go by, and they'd once in a while they'd walk up and I'd be like, "Hey, would you like a glass of wine?" And they finally were like, "Ah."
Oh my god! Speaking of which, I actually had a run in with a missionary over in White Plains, New York, and like I was just walking by, just doing an errand or something like that, and I just got walked out of like Lush or like a bath bomb place, and I had like this little black bath bomb and some
Mhm.
tape. And so, like, you know what? Why don't you baptize me right now? And so they got a water bottle. There's like an elder there. They blessed it, and I put my head down and I put the black. I broke up the black bath bomb and put some tape behind my ears, right? And so they poured the water in, and the black just kind of fizzed over, and I'm like screaming. So I'm like, ah, it burns, and I scared the
That's
crap
the
out of them.
best.
It was so
I wish I had
funny.
watched that.
That sounds like
That's
fun.
the
Like,
best.
the Azeroth, you
And
destroyer
you
is
know
coming
what?
for us all.
And you know what? That elder went back and told all those brothers in the church, and they'd be like, "You'll never guess what happened to me. I fucking got
Like,
the
oh my
devil,
god, I excite the
son.
demon. It's like,
I
uh-huh.
fucking got the devil today, brother."
I
Meanwhile, it's a
don't know. It's like
lush bass bomb.
much bad bump. And it's hilarious, honestly. Hilarious stuff. But even so, it really goes into the we need to start building our infrastructure, not just like on our social level. We need to start connecting with people, not just like, oh, we're gonna be best friends. But we also need to take a page out of their playbook a little bit and focus on like, okay, let's make sure we have like actual community centers. Let's be a little cutthroat CEO for a second, actually. The same way that
Yeah.
like the honestly, like a lot of people don't realize that like the whole like, oh, buying up all this property, oh, it's so evil. How do you think the
I
Midwest or
mean,
even the West even settled in the first place? And it wasn't by like wealthy white men either. Like when you went out west, like the way it historically actually went is that When the men went out there first, it was work camps. This is the hole you sleep in, this is the hole you crap in, this is the hole you die in. But
Mhm.
then the women came over and they were all sex workers. And they made more money than the men they served and actually put that money to use to actually build up the towns from work camps to actual towns.
Yeah.
And it would have never been, we wouldn't have like the Midwest as we know it today, or the West, or like the half of the United States without them.
Yep.
And that's partly why prostitution is illegal, is criminalized in the United States for so much, because how dare these women make money outside of marriage, even though you
Yeah.
directly benefit from it from the institutions that they founded?
Speaking of, everyone keep an eye on. There are whispers that pretty soon, women will no longer be able to hold lines of credit in the US. We are
Right.
going back to the 60s. So,
Yeah.
speaking of, super important for folks maybe with financial backgrounds to maybe talk to the rest of us to let us know like what we could do as a community to make sure that all of us aren't like penniless and can't buy a can of beans because we should all be looking
Hmm.
out for each other. Folks that grow beans and haven't been able to sell a single one because of this bullshit.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
we could like pair up with folks that understand other stuff and we all just got to figure out like who is in what state and where.
Mhm.
um,
Yeah. We
I
need to
am not
start
an
building
admin
our own
guy.
infrastructure.
I've got tons of ideas. I am not the admin person.
I am an admin
Great
guy. That's
sprinkle.
something I do. I am an admin guy.
Yeah.
And so, like, honestly, we need like we need we need people to start grocery stores. We need people to start grocery store
Yep.
businesses, and we need
Yep.
people to start like
Produce
online
stands, flower
e-commerce and
shops.
times. Yeah, not
Oh
even
yeah,
just
more
stands,
small
but we also
business.
need like actual like small grocery stores, because a lot of like small
Fish
business that are
market.
starting like snacks or confectionaries, a lot of farmers like hydroponic operations, all those stuff, they struggle to sell their products outside of major retailers because there is no other retailer alternative.
Yeah.
Yeah, co-ops for sure.
Mm.
We actually just the town that we're settling into now, they don't allow any chain stores within their town. There's absolutely no chains. It's all mom and
Yeah.
pops. So I think like maybe like if anyone like has the bandwidth to like run for office, and then if you're the mayor of a town, that's a decision you can make,
Yeah.
Or even start your own mom and
right?
pop. That's like LLC
For sure,
paperwork.
start your own
That's
mom and
easy to
pop.
do.
Also, like folks that maybe out there have been thinking about getting into politics, get into politics, make our towns
Hmm.
better so that the rest of us can move into your town
Yeah.
and we can all make it
Hmm.
better together.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This is how it's going to work. Someone needs to run for mayor.
Yeah.
Someone who has the bandwidth for it that's still in the states. It's not me.
Run for
Couldn't be
assembly.
me.
Run
Sorry,
for assembly
but
person. Run for
right,
all
right,
of
right.
that. City council.
But like local school board,
Local level.
local, right? Health
Yeah.
board, school board, health board, town, right? And then let us
Hmm.
know. Oh, like that you won mayor of whatever town, and then whoever's looking to move to somewhere healthy,
There we go. Come on in.
Yeah.
now we know where to go, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we
And
just got to
also
keep like
something, if
pushing our
you're if
friends that have been talking about it for too long to be like, fucking do it, bro.
Yeah.
I'll make a
yeah,
poster.
not even just run for office, but also like if you don't have the bandwidth it and you're like an admin person like me,
Yeah.
start a
Do the
grocery
admin
store.
for him.
Buy Yeah,
Yeah.
there is all this talk about the housing industry and real estate market. It's all in the residential real estate market. That's where things are crazy right now, and that's where we're going to see the crash. But because they're putting all their money into residential because they want to be like modern landlord, like modern nobility or whatever the fuck, that's not going to work. We have all this commercial real estate, storefronts, warehouses all over the country up for grabs and dirt cheap.
Hmm.
Go online, go look up your local your zip code, your black book, and commercial real estate. That is a ticket, and you can buy a commercial real estate. And because it's so versatile, you can actually go to your town, go look online who's in charge of your who's in charge of like your zoning marshal, meet them face to face, and you can fix up whatever you need to. And it's not only
For sure.
cheaper. It's not, but that's the plan I have for my warehouse. It's the plan I have for my secret base. But you could also do that to pretty much any other operations you want. If you want to start like a studio and like rent out spaces for people, or just rent out like a craft space
And
for
then that
people.
helps you pay the mortgage for the building that you bought,
Yeah,
right? Like we could do
yeah,
like the whole like landlord tenant thing. Like people are buying up private homes to like screw other people into like a way so they can sleep at night. But that's not the way to
yeah,
do it. Like the smart way to do it is like I want to buy this warehouse space and use it for creatives. So
Mhm.
you buy it and then you
yeah.
rent out space and
And
hopefully someone gets it and helps chip into it. And if they don't, they don't. But that's on you and it's my responsibility. But if someone can help a little bit with it and then you end up building a safe space,
Yeah.
right, for your community
exactly.
that full of
People say like
creativity and like a trading post for folks to trade their goods and services, right? Their creativity, their like whatever they could do if they want to, or just go and hang and vibe, whatever, right? Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, like you could build
Opportunity
like
is
spaces for
definitely
that.
there. I think we've all been thinking too small and been told how things cannot happen for
Yeah.
too long. That I think as long as we start talking to each other, be like, here's my idea of like what I would like to do, we could all springboard and be like, hey, have you thought about doing it this way?
Yeah.
And eventually just like
Yeah,
get
I
things
mean,
done.
something I've
That's an
really
awesome
important, like,
idea,
oh,
Tig,
like
that warehouse.
yeah, exactly, yeah. It's like
Yeah.
something I've really taken to heart is that, oh, capitalism is evil. It's evil because it doesn't give a shit. Capitalism doesn't give a shit. If there's a demand for a product, whether that be like drugs or a sex worker, if it's not regulated by the public market, if it's not recognized by the public market, the black market will provide, and no one will stop it. The
Hmm.
same thing, like if capitalism does not care. So if they're weaponizing their money, their power, whatever the hell on us, we can fight fire with fire and build our own things. And then, like, okay, we paid for
For
this,
sure,
we
Tig,
built
like
it,
that
you're gonna
warehouse you're
destroy
talking
it?
about is starting to sound like a church. That's all I'm saying is your
Yeah.
creative
Yes,
warehouse sounds like a
exactly.
really cool church that I would definitely join and be a patron of.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
You know,
it's gonna,
like you said, the
yeah, it's gonna
tax
be my base.
exempts.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
tax exempt. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be like it's
yeah.
gonna be a Batcave. I mean, Batcave is technically they would technically be a church, only with like gadgets and shit. That would technically be the case. But
Well,
yeah, it works.
we all know where to find each other, and we can keep
Yeah.
doing these little roundtable ideas, and it's still in the same realm as Mind Haven. It's like we're all
It's
here
all
to. It's all intertwined. You know.
I
yeah.
think so, because I think a lot of this does help. Correct me if I'm wrong, folks in the chat, but I do feel like I just went through some mind hygiene right now.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
did some mental hygiene. There's a lot of things that were stressing me out before this conversation that, like, we've hit a lot of different topics, a lot of,
Mhm.
like, little tidbits on, like, yeah, I stress out about all this. Like, it's all the same. Like, we can't take present day out of our mental well-being. And
Yeah.
as long as we keep talking to each other and being honest about it and not being ashamed to be like, I'm really stressed out because the world is scary right now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We're all gonna
But
be
the world
great.
has always been scary. Where you go
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
there and you survive, you come back here and heal, and we figure out a way to make it better. Survival has always been the name of the game for as long as
Yeah.
that is the whole purpose of being human for the last 1.5 million years or so.
Yeah. But now it's survival through community. This
Yeah.
individualism has to stop. It's all
Yeah,
survival through community. That's the only way we
that
can
is the
do it.
way.
Takes a
Yeah.
That's the
village.
only way we've been able to.
It takes a
And
village.
my very first live, that's how I met Tig and Nero. I just came on by myself. I'm like, I just want a safe space to talk about mental health and how important it is. And they came on my live and Ollie, you're fine. You're fine. Sorry, my little chihuahua was going off. Anyway, and then, it's just like, let's do this weekly. It's a safe space for people to come in that you don't necessarily have to have a mental health issue. We just like to discuss it if there happens to be a topic, whatever. But this is how our lives have gone. The conversation evolves, and I think it's a beautiful thing. You know.
Yeah, everybody has human brains. Everybody poops. You just got a matter of taking care of it, and
Yeah.
people have to take care of it in different ways.
Yeah. Yeah. With that being said, we've gone an hour and 20 minutes. Thank you so much, Jack, for joining us. It was
Thank you,
Thank you so
Jack, for
much for
joining
inviting
us.
me.
it's been such a
Yeah,
pleasure to
super happy to be here.
actually talk to you, have conversation with you. Thank you,
Yeah, I hope
Tig.
that now everyone who's in the chats that we're all mutuals in kind of like can hear my voice and like feel the vibe when they
Yeah.
see me say something like, I think Michael Cohen never got over COVID and he can't smell his own bullshit. I still stand
Yeah.
by that. That wasn't something I put in a chat to his face while he was there.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh wow.
so I hope you all hear my voice and see my silly little face when you read those comments because
Yeah.
it's always a very sharp tongue.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
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 And
Cool, cool.
I'm
But
over. I
cool.
have my publication. I have Tagalogy is the name of the handle. Is the name of the magazine. And I'm always just like I'm just building I started my Substack building this philosophy that I'm trying to build. Essentially, I'm like well, you can't have a church without a movement, and
Right.
the movement. How do you guys feel about this name for this larger community, the Horizon Coalition?
I like it. The
How do you guys
Horizon
feel about it?
Coalition. Yeah.
Yeah, because
I
as
like
long
it.
as the whole point is if the sun, this like there is a level of certainty that we know the sun is going to rise up tomorrow. So as long as you keep moving and keep getting to that, that's all you really need. Just
Yeah.
keep moving towards a better tomorrow, something better than today, not like yesterday. It's not
Forward,
perfect.
never
It's just
straight.
better. Forward, never straight.
There you go.
That's I always say that. And when anyone says, "Hey, just go straight." I'm like, "No, no, no. Forward, never straight."
We have the same
Sorry.
brain. Yeah, I say that since I was a teen. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I think we just needed a name for it. I don't know. Horizon Coalition sounds good. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about like starting like a nonprofit or even like a think tank with that name with it, and then like turning
I
into
can
like
see
not just
some
like an
like
organization.
I see like cool images like for like merch in the
Yeah,
future. Just like
Yeah.
I'm not
or
even
even
saying
like
merch you have to sell. I'm just saying like if someone comes into the coalition, here's a T-shirt, like rep our
Yeah.
set, right? So
T-shirt,
or
like
not even
t-shirt,
like not
swag.
even just a t-shirt, but also like there's
yeah, yeah.
I'm getting inspiration from like the Order of the White Lotus from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Okay.
So yeah, if like it's a massive movement and think tank, but even if it all collapses, you go like into a casino in Cairo or something like that. It's like, oh, not many people still cling to the ancient ways. Those who do can always find a friend.
Mhm.
It's like a
For
secret
sure.
society meets a think tank meets a community. It's honestly
Yeah.
what I'm trying to build here,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I love it.
Okay, well, I think I need to sign off here real soon. I
Yeah,
have
let's call it.
enjoyed this conversation immensely. Thank you, everyone in the chat, for chiming in and hanging out. Ooh, we have 17. That's great. Um,
17.
keep subscribe to Jack, subscribe to Tig, subscribe to me. I do this weekly every Sunday. Tig is a co-host. One of my other co-hosts is Nero, that's in the chat. We like to bring people in. We like to hear, I like to get, Nero has been really wonderful about shooting ideas to me. Like, let's get this person to talk about that, or, let's reach out to this person and talk about that. So, I'm always open for ideas, people to bring on. Jack, if you're willing to come on another time, we'd love to have you.
Yeah, I'd love
Um,
to be
Always love
back
it.
for sure.
okay,
Yeah.
And we are gonna
perfect.
keep in touch more, Jack. This is fun. I like you. I like you a lot.
I knew you
Yeah,
guys would get,
I'm
yeah,
here. Yeah,
yeah,
I've been letting everyone know. I'm terrible at starting creative things on my own, but if anyone needs a trans older brother
yep,
to chill and hang with, I'm here.
yep, right on.
Yes. All right. All
Okay,
right. Bye, everyone. Have a
love,
good night. Thank
peace.
you
Bye
for
Have a
everyone.
joining
great
us.
night.